Lex Estates.
What is the secondary market?
Basically, in Dubai property market, there is a primary and secondary market. Primary market, usually properties from developers, which is usually under construction. We call it off-plan. The secondary market is usually ready properties. You can say in a word like not brand new. So usually they are ready properties owned by somebody, not by developer. So usually this type of property is tenanted by somebody. So somebody is staying on a short-term or long-term basis. So yeah, basically secondary market is ready properties that you can move in and you can start living immediately.
Can you explain how buying in the secondary market works?
Yeah, sure. So if we talk about secondary market purchase, or in other words, deals, for example, if a buyer likes the property and negotiate the price and decides to buy, the first thing we do is we do the due diligence. So we make sure that the current owner is the rightful owner as per the DLD, because we can check that through the DLD website to make sure that he's the owner, and to make sure that he has no any mortgages or he has no any legal cases against him. So we do that. So once the due diligence is complete, and then we proceed with the SPA, is a sales and purchase agreement. So in that, all the terms and conditions for the seller and buyer will be entered, like even the initial deposit. For example, the buyer has to pay 10% deposit upon signing the SPA. So all the terms and conditions about the property size and details, deposit amount will be entered. So this is where both parties have to sign. As I said, the buyer has to pay 10% deposit as a commitment fee, and the seller will also sign that he agrees to sell at this price.
Many buyers use a mortgage. How does the mortgage process work?
So yeah, it comes the next stage, which is the mortgage, or the next is NOC from developer. So if we talk about the mortgage, so if buyer wants to buy the property using a mortgage, then the bank will require some documents and will do a property valuation. So against the borrowing amount of the buyer. So they will make sure that property is evaluated, and asking the borrowing amount is as per their property value. After bank does the property valuation and confirms, and then they can give a final offer letter to the buyer to proceed with a mortgage. So mortgage usually for a residence is 80% of the property value, non-residence 65% of the property value. So in this case, property, if a buyer is a resident of UAE, of Dubai, for example, he only pays the 20%, and 80% will be paid by the bank. And for that 80%, he will have a final offer letter in hand, so he can use it during the transfer.
What do banks look at when approving a mortgage?
Yeah, so first of all, they should be resident. For example, if we talk about residents, the second of all, they should have a minimum salary of 15,000 from the company. They should provide proof on the offer letter that, you know, on the labor contract, that they are receiving such amount of salary. So, and of course, there are some check which is done by the bank as per their due diligence will be carried out. But most importantly, for the bank, most important thing, if the borrower can return the loan. So for them, the most important thing is the company that they're working for, is it listed in their list, and are they receiving the minimum salary? So if they're receiving, then yes. If the borrower is a company owner, then they look at the company's balance sheet, basically the profitability, profit and loss statement. If the company is generating good income and is already fitting as per the bank standards that the borrower can return, so they can return.
What are the extra costs apart from the purchase price?
For example, if a person buying a property for 1 million dirhams, for example, so he has to pay 4% Dubai Land Department fee. It's a government fee. It's a one-time fee that's paid to the Dubai Land Department. Other than 4%, there is an administration fee, which is approximately 4,000 to 5,000 dirhams, which is paid in the trustee office. And on top of that, there is a broker fee. The agent fee is usually 2% or fixed amount. So it depends on the negotiation, but generally is either 2% or a fixed agreed amount with the buyer or the seller. So yeah, these are the most common costs that the buyers will face.
For our audience, thank you so much for watching this episode, and please subscribe to our channel, and we are going to discuss about other legal topics related to real estate in the next coming episodes. Thank you so much.